If you want to date high quality women overseas, you must speak the local language. And in this video, I'm going to share with you some of the reasons why that is. But before we do that, make sure to smash the like button. It costs you nothing. It means the world to me. It helps me out with the algorithm. Now, with all that said, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. I'm Joshua Hall. I've been to over 50 different countries. I've dated in many of those countries, and I've traveled and lived abroad for around a decade now. So with all that said, let's get into the topic of this video. Now, the most important reason that is going to be applicable to many of you is the fact that most of the countries most of you go to are the same countries a bunch of other foreigners and Americans are going to. And so you are competing with a bunch of other foreigners for these exact same women. So for example, many of these countries obviously have varying different degrees and levels of English, but even in the countries with the highest English literacy, it might be 60% at most. I'm sure there's probably some rare exceptions where they're like 70% or what may have you. But let's just say, and once again, these are the countries with the highest English literacy. So if you're going to other places like Cambodia or Vietnam, then the English literacy is going to be much lower. So let's say 50% of the population speaks English. Well, all the foreigners are going there and competing for the same 50%, which means two things. First of all, your status probably doesn't really matter if you're just relying on being American or being a Westerner, because most of those women have probably already met a foreigner, because once again, foreigners are all going to the same handful of countries, and so there isn't going to be any shine to you anymore. Second of all, it means your competition is going to be greater because you're going to be competing with all the foreigners as well as the locals. So that's one major reason learning the local language is really going to help you, because you can separate yourself from that herd. So if you speak the local language, you're opening up an additional 50 to 80% of the women population in that country simply by learning that local language, which is going to give you more access, more options, probably higher quality options. It's going to lower your competition, and it probably will improve your status as well. Because although some foreigners may speak the local language, it's going to be a significant less amount of the population that takes the effort to learn a local language, especially if it's a tough language. And so, like I said, if you're in a place like Poland that is relatively high English speaking, that's probably 60 to 70% of the population. But there's another 30% of the population who doesn't speak English. And they only speak their local language, maybe some Russian, some Ukrainian. But the point is, they don't speak English. And so most of the English speakers won't be able to communicate with them if they're doing cold approaches, out on the street, or meeting them at bars or clubs or things of that nature. And this is one of the things that I've talked about in previous videos. When I went to Poland, Ukraine, and some of those other places with my Russian buddies who speak multiple languages, it was a sort of a cheat code. Because guess what? We got into their little social circle because they spoke the language and they could communicate with these women. I've also talked about how dating overseas in general is just getting tougher. And so this is another way to separate yourself from the pack. And once again, you're just giving yourself so many more options if you do know the local language. Because guess what? Many women are not going to date someone who doesn't speak their language unless they are highly fluent and efficient in English. What's up, guys? Sorry to interrupt this video, but we have a quick message from our sponsor, who happens to be none other than yours truly, me. And I've got a quick message for you. If you want to escape the 9-to-5 and live your dream life, then this is arguably going to be the most important video you watch. You see, over the last 8, 9, 10 years, that's exactly what I've been able to do. You can see I'm here on a nice sandy beach in middle of the week because I have time location, and financial freedom. And I want that exact same thing for you. But you see, life hasn't always been like this for me. You see, it wasn't until I cracked the code to creating a sustainable, profitable online business did life become this way for me. And I'm going to share with you the things that you need to do in order for it to be a reality for you as well. Because the truth is that it is a simple 9-step system that you need to follow to go from where you currently are to where you want to be. And that is turning your knowledge, skills, or experiences and expertise into a profitable online business. And so I'm going to share with you exactly what you need to do starting today in order to make your dream come true. But once again, that goes back to what I was saying. In many of these countries, you're limiting yourself to half the population. And so if you're taking half the population, well, guess what? You're just eliminating a lot of the really high quality options, because true 8s, 9s, 10s, high quality women are pretty rare. And we're not gonna get into like a statistical nerdy breakdown of the numbers here, but like 9s and 10s are like 0.001% of the population. And it's not like an equal distribution of 10s, 9s, 8s, 7s, 6, 5s kind of thing. So I don't know what I have titled this video, but it may be a little bit of clickbait. Is it absolutely 100% necessary to speak the local language? No, it is not 100% absolutely necessary. It's also not 100% absolutely necessary to be able to speak or to walk or to have all your limbs or to be in shape or to be good looking. But obviously all of those things help. And like I said, as the competition gets tougher and more men go to the same places, learning the local language is an absolute cheat code if you want to have the most optimal chances of success, especially with high quality women. Not to mention, it will definitely help you build a social circle. So I think I'm going to wrap up this video here. If you have any comments or questions, leave them down in the comment section below. Do you agree? Do you disagree? What did I get right? What did I get wrong? Share your experience so that we can further this conversation for the rest of the people who choose to watch this video. And as always, thank you for watching. I truly appreciate your time. You could be doing anything else, but you were here with me, and I truly appreciate that. So hopefully this video was helpful, informative, and informational. With all that said, I'll see you guys next time, and as always, peace, much love.